Okay. All right, one sec. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Okay, guys, so for tonight, I'm going to be doing Star Trek Deep Space Nine Harbinger on Ensign or easy difficulty. So, yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while, so. Alright, just go to DOS. Actually, before I start, let me just make sure my DOSBox cycles are okay. Alright, I think that should be good. Okay, so DS9. Yeah, let's just do now. Alright. Yay, Paramount. Viacom.
Personal log, Envoy Bannock. Stardate 48987.7.
Oh, shucks, it froze.
My assignment on Denivia is at last complete. I suppose it went well enough, but then again, not much can go wrong when all you're asked to do is attend formal dinners and smile graciously. Still, the Denivian Treaty will be a great help to the Federation's interest in the Gamma Quadrant. I've been recalled to Deep Space Nine to assist Ambassador Carrig with a top priority assignment.
Approaching wormhole. Dropping out of warp.
Computer, continue 1/4 impulse. Carrig didn't give much background, but he did ask for me personally. Strange. I always got the feeling he didn't think much of my abilities. Who knows, maybe this will be the assignment that changes his mind about me. I just hope I can impress the great Carrig with my...
Oh no, I'm under attack.
Computer, shields up. Evasive maneuvers. Damage report.
Disruptor hits. Reports nacelle damage.
Identify attacker.
Craft does not conform to any known configuration.
Cut impulse. Heading change 180 Mark 0. Full reverse impulse. Now.
What are those things?
Computer, reverse angle on viewer. Where the hell is that wormhole?
The wormhole is approximately...
I see it. We're going to... Damn!
Vertical stabilizers offline. Inertial dampers critical.
Footage from the show.
Shield failure imminent.
Reroute all available power to shields. Now what?
We have entered an active plasma storm.
Will shields hold?
Course change recommended.
Computer,
Oh,
I need
great.
impulse control.
Control circuit non-operational. Unable to comply with request.
Great.
Unidentified craft. Course headed for a collision.
Deep Space Nine, this is Envoy Bannock. I have an emergency situation here.
Can you hear me? Craft. I've got the ship's transponder. It's your no.
Yeah, it's spiraling out of control.
Defeating the plasma storm.
Envoy Bannock, can you read?
Yes, Deep Space Nine. I can read you.
Comms are out. Stable. He's completely out of control.
It's like,
And he's
they
got a
can hear
massive
me.
plasma conduit
Well, I can
way
hear them, but they can't hear
Computer,
me.
create a containment field for the damaged plasma conduit.
unable to comply with the request.
Get a lock on the beam out there. Now.
Trying. The plasma storm is not the storm. The protoplasma coil is loose.
Computer, vent plasma.
He bent the plasma.
I'm trying.
Unable to comply with the request. He's heading right to the docking. Quick, reverse tractor beam. Slow down the approach and stabilize the ship. The controls crash. I'm on it.
Computer, cut power to the engines.
Inability to cut power. Unable to.
You know, I'm getting very tired of hearing that.
Orno, you can read. We're headed to the outer dock.
Yes, Cisco, we can hear you.
We'll try and bring you in safely.
Initiating graviton emitter.
Let's hope the hull can take it.
Hull integrity at. Got him. Dock 15 seconds.
Okay, tractor beaming me in.
Send maximum docking speed 12 seconds. 180. 170. It'll be a rough dock. 140.
Yeah, no
Too
kidding.
fast. 140's too fast.
7 seconds.
Recommendations?
4.
Computer?
3.
Computer!
2. Brace for impact.
Oh, yay! You get the Deep Space Nine, opening sequence. In really, badly compressed quality. There's station. Alright. Yeah, Harbinger. It's like I'm actually on an episode. I'm actually starring an episode of DS9. It's so cool. Captain Cisco. Actually, it's James Earl Jones. No, I'm kidding. Terry Farrell's Lieutenant Dax. Armaturman is Quark. Non-visitor is Major Kira. G. Duran does the computer voice? Okay. So yeah, it's basically just the show opening credits, but with the folks that made the game instead of the ones that worked on the show. So, with the exception of the actors, the characters, and all that. Is a wormhole gonna pop up? There it goes.
Shorted out, sir. We're gonna
Wow,
have
the
to
ship's
stay
in one
here.
piece, pretty
How long
much.
are you waiting for? Right
Okay.
away, sir. Faster would be better. I can't, sir. We don't want to. That's enough. But, sir, stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through.
Yeah, he shapeshifted through. Hey, Odo.
You're alive. Good. Odo to Cisco.
Go ahead.
I'm on board the Orinoco, Captain. The automatic safety systems have failed.
Envoy Bannock.
Appears uninjured. I'm initiating emergency shutdown procedures.
Hurry, Constable. You've got 8 minutes before the IPS overloads. I don't want any more fireworks today.
Neither do I, Captain.
Yeah, no
Odo
kidding.
out. Envoy, if you're able to stand, I could use your help. The damage from the storm must have fractured a plasma conduit. We've got to shut
Oh,
down the main power
that's a
relay before it
problem.
overloads and floods this compartment with radiation.
The damage to the ship? It wasn't the plasma storm.
Not the plasma storm? Then... whatever caused it, we've got to shut these systems down now.
How can I help you?
I think I can realign the plasma coil
Help
from
you.
here if you can repair the damage to the main propulsion grid.
How should I access the grid?
To your left, you'll see a panel marked Main Propulsion. There should be an alert flashing. You'll need to get inside the panel to vent off the plasma and replace the damaged chips.
Okay, I'll find it.
Okay. So...
Warning. Uncontained plasma in conduit B.
Alright, let's vent the plasma out so we can work on the system here.
Plasma conduit sealed.
Okay, good.
Reactant injectors offline.
I think it's that guy.
Reactant injectors back online. Monitoring systems offline.
It's that guy.
Monitoring systems back
Now,
online.
which one of these pieces would fit this one?
Plasma injectors offline. Plasma injectors back online. Automatic safety systems back online. Shutdown completed.
Alright, we're good. Tell you what difficulties? Okay, we're on Ensign. So it's lit on Ensign. Okay, we're good. I just wanted to check. So resume.
I did it.
Oh,
Shutdown completed.
Just warped into his position. Oh, frick. Yeah, the game kind of freezes up a bit.
Odo to Cisco. It seems your envoy knows his engineering systems. The Orinoco is out of danger.
You bet
Well
I do.
done. I'll have the envoy beamed directly to ops. Envoy Bannock, welcome to Deep Space Nine. I'm Captain Benjamin Sisko, commander of the station. May I introduce my second-in-command, Major Kira Nerys, and my science officer, Lieutenant Jadzia Dax.
Hey, guys.
Envoy Bannock.
We almost lost you, Envoy. What exactly happened
Yeah,
to
no
you in the
kidding.
Orinoco?
Some ships attacked me on the far side of the wormhole.
Attacked you?
Major, go to Yellow Alert.
Yes, they attacked
Shields
me.
up. Activate station defenses.
At once, Captain.
Envoy Bannock, could you identify the craft that attacked you?
Some spike thingies? I don't know.
Yes, as I came in, I noticed that they, or
Ugh.
others of their type, are circling the station.
With your permission, Captain, I'd like to have Odo verify the attack.
Good idea, Major. Cisco to Odo. Constable, do you have the situation under control?
Yes, Captain. It won't fly anytime soon, but
Are the ship logs intact? Lieutenant Dax would like to see them.
yes, Captain. Did Envoy Bannock inform you his ship was attacked?
Yes.
Constable. Can you confirm that?
Phased disruptors, Captain, intelligently aimed. The anti-proton residue is unmistakable. I'm sending what's left of the ship's records to you now.
Thank you, Constable. Cisco out. Envoy, this attack has serious implications. These craft arrived with the aliens you and Ambassador Carrick must negotiate with. Before we allow
Oh my gosh, you stop pausing up, please.
Ambassador, we must be absolutely certain that these drone craft attacked the Orinoco. Please step over to join Lieutenant Dax.
Which aliens are these, Captain?
Pardon me, Envoy. Of course you haven't been briefed. The aliens call themselves the Scythians. It's a first contact situation. Ambassador Carrick can tell you more about them.
Oh, so species that we haven't encountered before, okay.
Captain, is Ambassador Carrick here on the station?
Yes, he's in his quarters, anxiously anticipating your arrival. I believe he needs assistance with the aliens.
Now I'll join Dax. Thanks, Captain.
You have further questions, Envoy? Lieutenant Dax will help you.
Lieutenant?
Yes, could you come around and have a look at this?
Of course.
Yeah, let me get around. So this is kind of a stop motion kind of game where it kind of tries to simulate 3D, but you're in like a static position as you move around like this. I think you got it. Ah, frick. Okay, there we go.
Lieutenant, you have something to show me?
Yes, Envoy. This is the playback of the station log.
Those smaller ships look almost exactly like the ones that fired on me.
Captain, the Envoy believes he was attacked by the Scythian drones. We'll verify that from his ship logs. This is the log we retrieved from your ship's computer. Parts of the records are damaged.
Evasive maneuvers. Damage report.
Forecast savage.
Cut impulse. Heading 10. Full verse in.
There. I'm beginning an analysis.
Let's get some answers, Lieutenant.
I don't understand. The drones here have been completely docile. They had every opportunity to strike during the evacuation.
Why do you think they attacked me?
We know the drones are unmanned, Envoy. They behave in predictable ways. Stimulus, response.
And the stimulus was?
The Orinoco probably violated their alert zone. Their response? They attacked. The match is positive, Captain. This drone is configured exactly the same as those now surrounding Deep Space Nine.
You say the drones are unmanned, Lieutenant?
Yes, they are robot craft, fairly sophisticated in design.
And clearly built for war.
You think they're war machines?
They fire phase disruptors, not a take prisoners kind of weapon, Envoy.
Major, contact Ambassador Carrick. We must have a serious talk with our Scythian friends. Lieutenant, analyze the drone behavior further. Why are they here?
Impossible to tell. The plasma storm...
Captain Carrick is in his room, but he doesn't respond.
Envoy, if you could go to the habitat ring and rouse the ambassador.
Captain, elevated neutrino levels. Something's coming through the wormhole.
Envoy, belay that request.
Oh yeah,
Lieutenant?
common line in the
It's a
show.
drone. Unmanned, different. Sending out a signal.
Captain, the drones are responding. It's an attack formation.
Red alert. Phasers lock on. Dax, get me the Scythian ship.
Hailing. Captain, the Scythian leader.
Sir, our sensors indicate that your drones are taking up attack positions. What is the meaning of this?
Attack?
We will be forced to destroy the drones.
Captain, we can't lock on. The plasma storm.
Defend. Destroy.
You want us to destroy?
Hit a #1 shield.
Damn this storm. We're going to manual targeting.
Everybody take a station.
Bannock, you'll
manual
control
targeting.
Bank 5. Stand by.
This is gonna be a
But
real.
Envoy Bannock is
This
a
could be a real
diplomat.
mess if you're
With a
not
weapons
careful.
proficiency rating of 8.
Major, release Bank 5 to Bannock.
The bank is on manual targeting, Bannock. Releasing phasers to your control. Now!
Okay, let's go.
Captain, near reactor 4.
I have them, Major.
Damage on deck 5.
They've moved out of my sector.
I can't get a visual.
Dax, the plasma.
Clear up with the interference,
Compensating for
Dax.
visual interference.
Captain, the drones are regrouping.
Got ya.
Confinement shields up. We're taking hits, Captain.
Activating Caterin force fields. Bannock, target's moving into your sector.
We don't blow up the whole bloody station.
Under the habitat ring, bearing 111 Mark 4.
Oh man.
Warning. Hull breach on level 3.
I've already got a whole breach.
Only a few left.
Good work, Envoy. That's it. Stand down from battle.
Thank you. Okay.
One moment, Envoy. Captain, we have a ruptured bulkhead on deck 5.
Outer or inner bulkhead?
Outer. Structural damage 2.
I'll take this one, Major.
Certainly, Captain. Routing engineering control to you now.
Tell me, Envoy, your impressions of our enemy.
They were boring in from every side. No evasive tactics, no pattern attacks, no enfilade.
No self-preservation instinct.
Just attack, and to hell with surviving it.
They seem determined to destroy themselves, all right. But I thought their attack was confused.
Did their actions seem confused to you, Envoy?
Yes, the attack seemed scattered.
Yes, scattered. They didn't concentrate their fire. It doesn't make sense.
Major, do you mean they deliberately held their fire?
When we were fighting the Cardassians, sometimes we would attack an outpost, just to test its defenses, to plan our
No, not the Cardassians we all
I'll
know and
research it.
love.
Analyze the patterns of attack. I think we may be onto something.
Good. In the meantime, the turbo lifts, I'm not showing damage, but they're down all over the station. Could you?
Right away.
Great.
Excuse me,
Can get
Ensign.
access to the station. Okay, let's go talk to Cisco here.
Envoy, we seem to be out of danger for the moment.
Is the station badly damaged?
Apparently no. No casualties. Some circuits out, overloaded. A few hull breaches, nothing serious. We had containment fields up already because of the storm. It's a tough old Cardassian fortress, Envoy. We're out of danger, but we're still in trouble. We're cut off completely from help on Bajor, or reinforcements from Starfleet. And we're severely short-handed.
Short-handed? Why, Captain?
The station's been evacuated, Envoy, because of the storm. Plasma disruptions like this one have been known to rip ships and stations in two. Even tough old Cardassian ones.
Oh, man.
You can't even contact the planet of Bajor?
No. The plasma storm makes the 5-hour crossing a foolish risk. And subspace communications are out of the question.
Cardassian? Isn't this a Federation outpost?
No, Envoy. The Bajorans own this station. Turned over to them by treaty with the Cardassians. The Federation is here only at the invitation of the Bajoran government.
The Cardassians left us with a pitiful excuse for an infrastructure, Envoy. Systems of spit and wire.
But it's still got a backbone of solid uranium. Good thing, too.
Well, I think that's the toughest metal you can ask for a space station, so no complaints there.
When will the plasma storm end? Do you know?
Good question. Lieutenant, report please on the plasma storm. Present intensity, estimated duration.
Intensity up 20% overall. Duration anywhere from another 12 to 46 hours.
Oh, great. So maybe a few days at worst.
Were you able to evacuate the station completely? Before the storm rose, I mean.
Yes, or almost. Transports took about 500 people to Bajor for safety. Almost all the station personnel. But one transport didn't make it out. Isn't that right, Major?
An old Subite freighter. First they were hung up on a docking clamp, then stabilizer problems. They were lucky to make it back to the station.
The passengers are now in a designated safe zone. Level 7, Section 5.
Otherwise known as Quark's Bar. A
Have a nice drink there.
Yes. Less than 24 people on board and still insist on staying open. There's probably a rule of acquisition that addresses even this situation.
The riskier the road, the greater the profit. Number 62.
I need to memorize the Frankie Roosevelt acquisition, but I can't.
Tell me what's happened here, Captain. From the beginning, please.
Certainly, Envoy. A lot has happened since you and Ambassador Carrick passed through Deep Space Nine on your way to the Gamma Quadrant. We received several field reports from Ambassador Carrick. One of them concerned the Scythians.
Those are the Gamma Quadrant aliens? Lieutenant Dax showed me their ship arriving at the station.
Yes, and you witnessed my conversation with their leader. According to his reports, Carrick had much better success in speaking with the Scythians.
Well, we better get him to talk with them to see what's going on.
Could I see that report?
It's classified, Envoy. Only Ambassador Carrick has the authority to let you view it, which I have no doubt he will do.
Go on.
So when the Scythians appeared at the station, I contacted the ambassador, who was already on his way to Deep Space Nine.
From the Gamma Quadrant, I assume.
Yes, I can't tell you more than that.
And the first drones followed the Scythian ship?
Yes, just as you saw it in the station log.
Go on.
Meanwhile, Dax detected the plasma storm rising unusually quickly. We scrambled to evacuate the station and seal it against the storm.
Oh.
Why didn't the Scythians evacuate with everyone else?
I don't know. We told them of the danger and they understood us, I think. But when they learned Bajor was inhabited, they simply refused to leave.
Ugh.
And more drones arrived through the wormhole?
They appeared as regular as clockwork.
Go on.
Carrick got here just before the storm hit. He retired almost immediately to his quarters. Said you were to join him as soon as you arrived.
Did he say why he summoned me in particular?
No, he did not.
Go on.
The rest of the story you know. You were ambushed by drones on the far side of the wormhole. Shortly after that, they attacked the station in unison. Now, I think it's time for you to rouse the Ambassador. His quarters are in the habitat ring. Dax, see if you can restore power to the turbolift. After all he's done for us, I'd rather not force Envoy Bannock to use the stairs.
I'm trying. Envoy, I can get you as far as the promenade. You'll have to walk from there.
Thank you, Envoy.
And no worries.
That's all.
Love to see the station. See his ain't.
Envoy, these drones do indeed have a motive other than attack. I'm reading...
Dax, conduit rupture on level 10. Can you work a bypass?
I'm on it, Captain. Talk to you later, Bannock.
So now I gotta talk to the good old ambassador. So can I interact with all this, or no? Okay.
Computer. Take me to the promenade.
Due to emergency security precautions, promenade access has been restricted. Areas currently available to access are Section 5, Levels 7 and 8. Please specify desired destination.
Not too many choices. Let's go to Upper
Level
Promenade.
8, Section 5.
Okay, let's... Walking out on the floor, the promenade. Yeah, this is so cool. I'm on the station. Alright, it looks like I'm running on the promenade here. Let's go talk to this Bajoran lady.
Pardon me, traveler. Your face is unfamiliar. Have you newly come from the passage?
The passage.
The passage wherein lies the celestial temple of the prophets. The wormhole, as it is called by those who do not yet believe.
Yes, I came through the wormhole a little while ago.
I have waited all my life for such a pilgrimage, to enter the gates of the temple. Did you, answer carefully, did you encounter the prophets on your voyage?
Besides a rough ride, unless you kind of rough ride with all the electrical energy going on, the wormhole going on, not really.
I was more interested in getting through alive than meeting the entities that live there. I was attacked just before my ship entered the wormhole.
Attacked? At the very portal to the celestial temple? The prophets are patient to suffer such sacrilege. So, still they have sent no sign. Perhaps they wish to see how we will face this test alone.
I'm not very familiar with your Bajoran culture yet. Which prophets are these?
The prophets are the very center of Bajoran spiritual life. The passage, the wormhole you traveled, contains their celestial temple. Such a tragedy that so many who pass through those gates do not perceive their sanctity. But the prophets guide us all, even those who do not yet understand their instruction. Even you, traveler.
You may be right. I'm Envoy Bannock with the Federation's Tyrian Diplomatic Corps, and you are...
Your humble servant, Vedek Rasmus of the Dartanan province.
Why are you still here on Deep Space Nine? I thought the station had been evacuated.
Deep Space Nine. Strange to me still, after 4 years, to hear it so named. When I came here last, this place was Terek Nor, a Cardassian knife at the throat of Bajor.
Yeah.
What's Terek Nor? Another name for the station?
The Cardassian name. They built this station over 20 years ago to help process the minerals they tore from our planet, and to keep Bajor in chains. It was very different then. Colder. Darker.
You lived here during the Cardassian occupation of Bajor? I thought the station was some kind of fortress back then.
It was. They brought me here, as they did thousands of others, to labor as a slave in their ore processors. Now, it is my Pach that brings me here, to prepare for the rising, in accordance with the ancient texts.
It must have been difficult to return.
Difficult, but wonderful. Since the end of the Cardassian occupation, Bajor has felt a renewal of its spirit. As our wounds heal, many of our people would just as soon forget the pain of the past.
What is the Rising? A spiritual festival?
Only in the most tragic sense. A festival of spirits. The Rising is the time when the Borjas...
Borjas?
Borjas, the spirits of the unconsecrated Bajoran dead.
Phantoms?
If you like. During the Rising, these spirits must be put to rest. If they are not, their Pach forces them to return, to walk in the footsteps of the living. Terek Nor knows many such tortured spirits.
Oh boy.
You mentioned your Pa. Does that have to do with the prophets also?
Your Pach is the voice of the prophets within you, Envoy. Listen to it.
What puts these spirits at peace?
I've kept you too long already. The spirits of Terek Nor await my prayers, and I'm sure you have business of your own to attend to. Our paths may cross again, Envoy Bannock. In the meantime, may the prophets be with you.
See ya. That was a nice little chit chat, but let's get going. Alright. Let's head down here. Yeah. Looks like it's just minimum systems only. Life support.
Computer? Where is everybody anyway?
Please restate your request.
Locate Chief of Security, Odo.
Chief of Security Odo is located in the main security office.
What's my current location?
You are currently located on the lower promenade.
Access, station directory. I need to find a location.
Accessed. State desired destination.
How can I get to Habitat Ring A?
The Habitat Ring is the intermediate ring structure of Deep Space Nine. Turbolifts to this area are currently under repair. Access through main corridors only.
Ah, dang it. Well, that's one of the airlocks. Or somewhere, or one of the doors to the cargo area. Or to a ship docked. Let's see. I think that'll just take me back to ops, so.
Jenny! I'm deducting that from your pay.
Oh, Quark.
What do you mean he... What have you done?
We did nothing. The situation had already occurred before we arrived.
All I wanted was a simple exchange. Now you've made that impossible.
Someone else must have known about the items.
The deal is off. I can't be seen talking to you.
The deal is definitely off. We're leaving at our earliest opportunity.
Deal's
We suggest
definitely
you
off.
do the same.
Excuse me.
Ambassador, Envoy, Bannock, you took me by surprise. I'm so glad you stopped in. I'm Quark, the owner of this establishment. What can I do for you today? A drink? A session in the holosuites?
How do you know my name? I'm sure we've never met.
The 194th rule of acquisition. It's always good business to know about new customers before they walk in your door.
You have holosuites here?
The finest in the Alpha Quadrant. I can have them powered up and ready in microseconds. Interested?
Exactly what kind of programs do you have available?
What kind would interest you? Something to relax with? A Loriento massage, perhaps? Or, how about something to stimulate? The Orion slave auctions.
You'll never get that up.
What's that supposed to mean?
Toy
The
power
power
consumption.
restrictions? You don't have enough juice to run those.
The lockdown for the plasma storm, they've restricted my power allotment. No respect for a man's profits. Anyway...
Well,
Russell,
it's not top priority court.
Be my guest. Computer, register 10 complimentary holosuite credits for customer Bannock.
Registered?
They're upstairs to the right. Take your time. Now, about that drink.
What are the local specialties?
Our Star Drifters are the best in the quadrant. And today's special...
Your Plasma Storm daiquiri? Ugh. Get something tasty. Black hole. Or maybe a nice Ractagino to wake you up.
How about a Ractagino?
Living on the edge, aren't we? Jenny! Get the envoy a nice hot cup of Ractagino.
Get it yourself. I'm on my break.
That's exactly 15 minutes, and I'm deducting that from your pay. It's impossible to find good help this side of the wormhole. Now, you're with the Tyrian delegation, aren't you?
Interesting. Why do you ask?
Oh, just making conversation. I find the affairs of state fascinating. So many interesting opportunities arise. It is possible that my experience could be of assistance.
Interesting. What kind of experience?
Well, as the Nagus' official liaison with the Gamma Quadrant, I could be invaluable to your negotiations. We could arrange a few quiet discussions about trade opportunities, build an export portfolio. It could be very profitable for both of us.
What's a Nagus?
The Nagus is a who, not a what, technically speaking. He's the master of Ferengi commerce, a financial genius. But, as I was saying, the Scythians may not be aware of the wonderful opportunities that a Ferengi trade alliance would offer them.
What do you mean profitable for both of us? Are you proposing some sort of business partnership?
A partnership, exactly. If you can arrange for me to meet with a Scythian leader for, let's say, 30 minutes, I'll see to it that you receive 7% of the profits from my negotiations. No credits, just pure, untraceable gold-pressed platinum.
This wouldn't have anything to do with that famous Ferengi avarice, would it?
Who have you been talking to? If Kira's put ideas in your head about Ferengi, she's always been prejudiced against my people. She thinks all Ferengi are nothing but corrupt, grasping criminals.
Not all Ferengis. Just you.
Isn't your break over yet?
Not yet. According to Bajoran labor standards, I get...
Then be quiet and stop harassing the customers. As I was saying, Envoy.
Are you attempting to bribe a member of the Federation Diplomatic Corps?
Bribe? What? I never, I'm merely...
I think you better quit while you're ahead, Quark.
Wait,
Break's over, boss. You want me to start the inventory now?
Yes. No, wait for me. Just a minute.
I've got to be heading out to the habitat ring anyway. I'm late for my meeting with the ambassador.
The ambassador may be a little late himself.
I'd be glad to start it myself if you're busy. Exactly the way your brother taught me to.
No, thank you. Take another break. Unpaid this time. The habitat ring. It's all the way down the corridor on your left. Just keep going till you come to the second junction. Can't miss it.
Hello? Still on break, then.
Mm-hmm. Looks that way. Until he decides he needs a hand with the inventory, that is.
Say, what happened to you?
I had a little accident. In a runabout. Not an accident, really. I was attacked. Very nearly killed.
No kidding. Well, that would explain the smudges, the rips, and the burns. Mr. Garrick is going to be happy to see you.
Garrick?
You mentioned someone named Garrick?
Deep Space Nine's only remaining Cardassian, Mr. Garrick. He says he's a simple tailor, but... I don't think so.
He's just
His prices are suspiciously low.
He's just a simple Cardassian trying to make his way on this station. I mean, it's not like we're recently in a conflict with Cardassians only a few years ago in the timeline, so...
Where's Mr. Garrick now?
He closed down his shop and prepared to evacuate like everyone else. But I don't think he went to Bajor. I don't think he'd dare.
You say Mr. Garrick didn't go to Bajor?
Cardassians aren't exactly welcome on Bajor. Not even if they're excellent tailors.
I have a few questions about your boss.
Johnny! These glasses need to be rubbed.
Rub them yourself. I'm with a customer. An important customer. Tell me, are you important?
I'm an envoy in the Tyrian Diplomatic Corps, United Federation of Planets. I'm here to assist Ambassador Carrick.
I've met diplomats before. Working at the Dabo table, you meet everybody. You just don't spend much time with the losers, that's all.
Whoa, there.
Unless they're rich.
I don't follow you.
Hey! Johnny! He's frowning. Are you annoying the customers again? Leave Envoy Bannock alone. I'll be ready for inventory in just a minute.
Hello again.
My boss said I should leave you alone.
What do you say? We haven't been formally introduced. My name is Bannock.
Yes, I know. I heard Quark, mention your name. My name is Johnny.
Where are you from, Johnny?
Nowhere. Which is where I appear to have ended up. For the moment.
Johnny? Johnny what?
Dabo girls don't have last names, Bannock. It's Theron. Johnny Theron.
Tell me more about yourself, Johnny.
Just another adventurous soul marooned in space. Wouldn't you really rather talk about yourself? A far more interesting subject, I'm
Hmm.
sure.
This is a Dabo table, right? I've heard a lot about the game. Can you show me how to play?
It's easy to play Dabo. Just put your latinum on the table.
Before we start, what exactly are the rules to Dabo?
Well, here are my rules. It's a lot like winning at life. Rule 1 is don't play if you can't afford to lose. Rule 2 is don't play by yourself. It's boring. Rule 3 is don't watch the wheel, watch the girl because she knows. You got all that? Let's talk later, Bannock, when we're alone. For now, I'm on break. The Dabo table is closed.
Dang
Bannock,
it.
I should tell you.
Johnny! That's enough of your gossip. Leave the envoy alone. Now! Or I'll dock you 2 weeks' pay.
That won't be necessary. I was just leaving. For now.
I don't like Quark. He's a jerk face. Can I go to the hall suites by chance?
Computer, list available holosuite programs.
Voice identification. Bannock, Tyrion delegation. Bannock credit verified. There are 2 holoprograms currently available at your credit level. Intercept at Kinsara 4. Panhelios 18, Depredator ambush.
Perfect. A little combat training. Computer activate program intercept at Kansara 4.
Ow. Okay. Yeah, I think that I'm good for now. Okay. She's probably not going to talk to me. So... I can't go inside the temple? Dang it. Why can't I eat there? Fuck Dodo.
Envoy, I thought you were on your way to meet Ambassador Carrig.
Excuse me?
I ran into a Bajoran Vedic on the promenade. Wasn't the station supposed to be evacuated due to the plasma storm?
There was a problem with the Odessa, the last transport to Bajor. We had to pull them back in when their stabilizers failed. I was about to go over the passenger records.
Your local bartender takes a great interest in galactic affairs.
Pork? I'll bet he does. The Scythians.
Yeah, he asked me to arrange some kind of meeting with them. He was very persistent.
I'm sure he was. A new Gamma Quadrant trade prospect. He's probably already calculated their export potential down to the last strip of latinum. I'd stay away from him if I were you. You let him get a foot in and he'll stick to you like a Thalosian nerve parasite. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to examine these passenger records. What is it now, Envoy?
I'm annoying him.
Can you tell me when exactly the Scythian delegation ship arrived?
Approximately 72 hours ago. I've had a guard on their vessel ever since.
What made you place a guard on them? Is that standard protocol here at DS9 for first contact situations?
I don't take chances with this station's security, Envoy. Gamma Quadrant aliens aren't always what they seem to be. I'm sure the Ambassador must be wondering where you are.
Alright. Little cozy chit chat with Odo's done, so let's get out of here. Let's go through here.
Warning. You are attempting to enter an emergency containment field.
Bad idea.
Computer? Open the door to Habitat Room 6A.
Habitat Room 6A is inhabited. Visitors are requested to utilize the entry chime to request admission from the occupant.
I've already done that. No one answered.
By disregarding the entry chime, the occupant is demonstrating a desire to remain undisturbed. Visitors are requested to respect this request.
Let's see. Let me.
Computer? Open the door to Habitat Room 6A.
Habitat Room 6A is inhabited. Visitors are requested to utilize the entry chime to request admission from the occupant. Turbolifts to this area are currently under repair. Nearest operational turbolifts are located in the lower promenade.
Dang it. Kira, you gotta get those fixed. Don't have to take a long way around the promenade to get back to ops. Okay.
Computer? Open the door to Habitat Room 6A.
Habitat Room 6A is inhabited. Visitors are requested to utilize the entry chime to request admission from the occupant.
This is an emergency. Open the door.
Access denied. Guest privacy seal has been activated.
Computer, override the seal on Visitors Quarters 6A.
Please provide security access code.
No.
Oh, great.
Incorrect code. Security access code is required to override guest privacy seal. Access denied.
Computer? Open the door to Habitat Room 6A.
Habitat Room 6A is inhabited. Visitors are requested to utilize the entry chime to request admission from the occupant.
Computer, who can authorize access to room 6A?
Emergency access can be authorized from main security or by utilizing the current security override code.
Computer, override the seal on visitors' quarters 6A.
Please provide security access code.
Computer, I don't...
Incorrect code. Security access code is required to override guest privacy seal. Access denied.
Okay, guess I gotta go back to Odo.
Still can't find the ambassador?
I've just come from the ambassador's quarters. Something's wrong. He's not answering the door.
Computer, what is the location of Ambassador Carrig?
Ambassador Carrig is in Visitors Quarters 6A in Habitat Ring A.
He's still there.
He could be in dormancy. It is possible.
Computer, activate guest summons in VQ6A. Security override Delta 65 Red. Audio.
Activating.
That ought to rouse His Excellency. The Cardassians who built this station didn't take kindly to being ignored. Their guest summons could get the attention of a hibernating Tiberian sloth cat.
There is no response to the guest summons.
That's odd.
I tried to get in and check on him, but the door was sealed. Something's wrong.
You may be right. I'll check the...
Kira to security.
Odo here.
Odo, we've had an incident on level 19.
What is it, Major?
Carlton and I are working on the shield generators. We were using one of those old Cardassian particle torches, welding a cracked bulkhead. He put it down for a second, and it was... gone.
Gone?
Interesting.
I mean gone. Vanished. And we're the only ones down here. We'd have seen anyone come through the maintenance conduit after us. Could someone have beamed it out of here?
I'll check the security logs.
It was right there.
Stay put, Major. I'll get back to you. It appears you'll have to see to the ambassador yourself, Envoy.
Ah, dang it.
I'm overriding the privacy seal on his quarters. The access code is Omega 738.
Omega 738.
Use it to let yourself in. I'll join you there as soon as I can.
Thanks, Odo.
Computer?
Alright.
Open the door to Habitat Room 6A.
Habitat Room 6A is inhabited. Visitors are requested to utilize the entry chime to request admission from the occupant.
Computer, override the seal on visitors' quarters 6A. Access code Omega 738.
Access granted. Habitat...
Alright.
Room 6A is open.
Thank you, computer.
Alright, let's go to the quarters. The whole place is a wreck.
Carrig.
How do I get out of this? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Don't move. And don't touch anything. What happened here, Envoy?
It's Ambassador Carrick. He's dead.
It would appear so. It's him, all right. Unless there was another Tyrian on board. Tyrian DNA particles. Not much left of his body structure. Whoever did this wasn't taking any chances. Odo to Cisco.
Go ahead, Constable.
I'm afraid our Scythian problem is more serious than we thought, Captain. Ambassador Carrick has been murdered.
Murdered? When did this happen?
From the looks of things, I'd say hours ago. I'm running a scan on the remains now.
Talk to me, Constable. What do we know? Suspects? Witnesses? Who found the body?
Envoy Bannock. He's here with me now. The body's at least 4 hours dead, Captain. I'll have to run a level 4 scan to learn more than that. But the plasma storm...
I'm aware of the sensor problems, Constable. But if you tell me that Carrick was killed after 1900 hours yesterday...
Then we've got a murderer on board.
Oh, great.
Major Kira?
Right. All ships at dock. Security lockdowns, now.
I'll get you those answers, Captain. Odo out.
What kind of weapon could have done this?
I'm reading considerable neutron disruption. Looks like a molecular inhibitor. Haven't seen one of these for a while. Messy, but effective.
Why would someone use a weapon like that?
To avoid detection, probably. The station's weapons sensors aren't configured to scan for inhibitors.
He was unarmed, on a mission of peace. Why would anyone want to kill him?
Oh, I'm sure any of the usual humanoid reasons would have sufficed. Jealousy, greed, revenge. Odo to Dax. Lieutenant, I'm feeding the tricorder readings directly into the main computer.
Got them. High levels of plasma disruption. Terrigen radiation again. That's strange.
Looks like traces of residual radiation on some of the personal effects, and a concentrated corrosive. The pad is thick with it.
Could be a data wipe.
Exactly. Someone wanted to cover their tracks. I'll route what's left of the pad data to Ops. Odo out. I'm always amazed at what humanoids consider motive for murder. You knew the ambassador. Did he have many enemies?
He was one of the most successful diplomats in the Corps, Mr. Odo. He had rivals all over the Federation, but none of them would resort to this.
No. Diplomatic adversaries usually attack with subspace communiques, not disruptors.
I doubt any of his enemies would resort to killing him. But look at this place. Someone's torn it apart. Maybe he was killed for something he had with him.
You may be right. But what could the ambassador have been carrying that would have been worth a man's life?
Cisco to Odo.
Odo here.
Constable, is the envoy still with you?
Yes, Captain. I believe we're through here.
Have him report to me in Ops on the double. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. You heard the Captain, Envoy. I'll see to it that Ambassador Carrick's remains are put in stasis. I'm sure your government will want to return them to his family.
Yeah.
But the murderer...
I'll want to interview you at length about this later, Envoy. But right now, Captain Cisco's requested your presence in Ops. I suggest you don't keep him waiting.
Alright.
Right, we see pleasure.
What's that voice? Guess those turtle lips are still not working. Hey. Where you come from? Alright. Alright, guys, I think I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some. I'm getting a little, yeah, a little tired here. Okay. Tell you what, let me, Star Trek DS9 live stream. Easy. Ensign. Yep, it takes a snapshot where I'm at, so that's cool. Okay. Eh. Oh, she's not here.
Hello? What's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a ghost. So, did Ambassador What's-His-Name demote you? For crashing that runabout, I mean.
Johnny, Ambassador Carrick is dead.
Carrick? Dead? I don't believe you.
It's true. Murdered, actually.
Murdered. But
someone killed him in his room. Oh, it was gruesome.
really? Go on.
The murderer used a molecular inhibitor. It dissolved him.
Dissolved him.
We don't know who did it. Odo and I are looking into it.
I see. So the killer could still be here. On the station.
Possibly. Do you have any theories about who might have killed Carrick?
Theories? Theories? Look, a man is dead, on top of everything else. That's what I hate about this civilization we live in. The Alpha Quadrant, where everyone is so polite. Let's discuss theories. Nobody wants to discuss what's really going on. It's like this agreement that everyone has, all right? Except I never signed it. I don't even know what it is!
What's really going on?
Let me finish, will ya? It's like everyone's so pleased with everything. Space stations and food replicators and a room with a view of the stars.
What is wrong with you?
Wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. People are still people, aren't they? Stubborn. They don't progress as fast as the technology would have you believe. Just maybe they've stopped progressing altogether. That's what I think. What's happened is the cannibals have learned how to use replimats. And when one of them gets tired of replicated food or can't afford yet another session in the holosuite and kills somebody, well, that's just business as usual. Take Quark, for example. Fine, upstanding businessman. He's in this murder thing up to his neck. Look, I want out of here. I want to go to the Gamma Quadrant.
I'm not going with you.
How is Quark involved with this murder? You don't think he did it?
I don't know exactly, but he's scared. Not scared of being arrested. Scared of being killed.
Who does Quark think would kill him? Those aliens with the fins?
The Lycotians? Which ones? The red ones or the blue ones?
Quark's been associating with the blue Lycotians.
Oh yes, they had some kind of shipment coming in. It was going to make them all rich, of course. You hear that a lot around the Dabo table.
Tell me more about this shipment. Was it from the Gamma Quadrant?
Yeah, and it was full of latinum. Priet, one of the blue Lycotians, told me that across the Dabo table. One of the red Lycotians happened to catch the remark, and that was the last time I saw them.
I haven't seen any red Lycotians.
They were here earlier. They'd be the ones to fear, all right. Quark snubbed them in some business deal.
Tell me more about this business deal.
I don't know any more than that. But they weren't happy about it. The red Lycotians, I mean.
What happened to those red Lycotians? Where did they go?
When the plasma storm began to rise, they booked a transport out, just like everybody else.
Yeah, that didn't work.
What's so inviting in the Gamma Quadrant?
No bosses, lots of room. You can find a planet all your own, Panic.
Are you sure about
Breathe
that?
air no one's ever breathed before. That probably doesn't make any sense to you.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I have more questions. Who else could put Quark in fear for his life?
I don't know. Who killed Carrig? There. I've told you what I know about Quark.
You seem to be a little calmer now.
Oh, that was nothing. You should see me when I really get riled up. Or maybe you should be thankful that you didn't.
Hey, yeah, it's kind of an obscure game. It's Star Trek Deep Space Nine Harbinger on DOS. I'm running it through DOSBox.
Can I return the favor in some way? You mentioned something about going to the Gamma Quadrant.
Yes, I had my passage all set, then someone cheated me out of it. A Ferengi named Mox. I know it's really hard to arrange, but if you...
I can't promise you anything, Johnny.
But you'll do what you can. Yeah, that's what Carrig told me. And, look what happened to him.
You? You knew Ambassador Carrig?
We met briefly when he was on his way to the Gamma Quadrant. Now, if you'll excuse me.
And she just creepily stares at me. Let's see, is that Butcher and Vatic still up here? Let's see. Nope, she left. Maybe she went to the temple. Of course, that part's pitch black. Yeah, nice night for a walk. Hmm. Oh, that's right. I have to go back talk to Cisco. Yeah, O's not there. What the? Why is turbo lift just opened?
Computer. Ops.
Let's see. Back on in ops.
Envoy. Bannock, I'm sorry about Ambassador Carrick.
Yes, it's a great loss for the Federation. And for Tyria.
Yes, I'm sure it is. You have something to discuss with me?
The information Carrick had, that someone tried to erase.
Tried to destroy, actually. Computer, have you finished analyzing data sample A?
Affirmative.
What are the chances for data recovery?
Complete recovery probability is 0.
Chances for partial recovery? Audio data only? Using a Trojan extrapolation matrix?
Probability unknown.
Ha! Computer, apply the Trojan matrix to data sample A. Computer, play the result.
Experience. Even I. Sorting out the language barriers to full communication.
Aha!
That's Carrick, all right. During the Turget talks, I learned to recognize his distinctive cadences in a room full of shouting people.
Let's hear those distinctive cadences again. Computer?
Experience. Even I. Sorting out the language barriers to full communication.
He mentions sorting out the language barrier.
Yes. Carrick may help you negotiate with the Scythians after all. I'll run the matrix on all the data and call you when it's done.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Transmission from Ambassador Carrick, Tyrian Diplomatic Corps, United Federation of Planets, to Captain Benjamin Sisko, Starbase, Deep Space Nine, Stardate 48975.1, copy sent, Starfleet Command. Report on first contact, new race. Present designation, Scythians.
Continue.
Humanoid, highly developed technology, self-sustaining space stations orbiting the fourth planet in the Scythian system.
Interesting.
Continue.
At first, the species appeared somewhat xenophobic. However, further contact proved this to be a misconception.
Okay, so that was they have a space station around the fourth planet and their home system that sustains them. Okay.
Continue.
As you can see, the metallic structure of the space station has a high concentration of latinum and other valuable metallic properties. This, combined with the strategic location, would make an alliance with the Scythians extremely desirable.
Continue.
Despite serious linguistic difficulties, which I will elaborate on later, I was able to communicate the existence of the wormhole, the location of DS9, as well as an invitation to open informal talks with the Federation to this Scythian.
Wonder who that is.
Continue.
Who I have concluded is, if not the Scythian leader, then the one among them who stands above others. Though this may seem a fine point of difference to you, Captain, it is in fact a crucial distinction. In addition, I have in my possession certain items which the Federation will find of great interest and potential value. I cannot elaborate on these on an open channel. However, measures will have to be taken to assure their safety.
Continue.
My business in the Gamma Quadrant will not be concluded for a week. Should the Scythians arrive before me, please extend them all courtesy, as I know you will. However, due to the linguistic difficulties previously mentioned, please also avoid all attempts at communication unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, to avoid a misunderstanding.
Continue.
Carrick out. End transmission.
Okay, well, that's it. Alright, Cisco, what do we got?
Captain, Ambassador Carrick has been murdered.
Yes, Envoy. This puts us in a serious situation.
Do we have any idea who murdered the ambassador?
We don't know who killed Carrick or why. We don't know if the killer got what he wanted or is still on the station, or whether or not this incident is linked with the Scythians.
Go on, Captain.
We have to open communications with the Scythians. They may know something about the murder. They almost certainly know something about the drone attack.
Could the drone attack have been a diversion to distract us so that Carrick could be assassinated?
Interesting. But no. Odo established that Carrick died before the drone assault, even before you arrived at the station.
Okay, so no Scythian link. So, assuming the Scythians had something to do with the droid, well, yeah.
I don't think the Scythians are involved, Captain.
With the murder? Perhaps not. With the drones, almost certainly.
If Carrick died before I arrived, that eliminates me as a suspect.
That fact was not lost upon us, Envoy.
Go on, Captain.
Don't lose sight of the main threat. Another, deadlier drone attack. The clock is ticking, Envoy. Now, regarding Carrick's murder.
What do you want me to do, Captain?
Cisco to Odo.
Odo here.
Constable. Bannock has volunteered to aid in your investigation.
No, I didn't.
Captain, I don't need any amateur...
Mr. Odo, did I mention I have some security training? Level 4, anti-assassin procedures, incident investigation.
Anti-assassin training? Level 4.
Yes, sir.
Envoy, I'm somewhat,
The captain's a little surprised, Bannock, but pleased, I'm sure.
I'm full of surprises, so...
Perhaps you could be of use, Bannock.
Whatever you say, Captain. He can begin by analyzing Carrick's log entries. Someone went to great trouble to obliterate them. They almost succeeded. Lieutenant Dax is trying to salvage them now.
Yes, Constable. Cisco out. You heard what Odo said. Good. If you're going to assist in security matters, you might need this.
No, phaser.
It's a standard issue Starfleet phaser, Bannock. You know how to use one, I take it?
Yes.
Good. Second, there is the matter of the Scythians.
This phaser is fully charged, Captain?
Yes, Envoy. Set on stun, of course. Now, back to the Scythians.
What is the problem with the Scythians?
Communicating with them is the problem, Envoy. They challenge our notions of language and our patience.
Our notions of language? What do you mean, Captain?
You'll have to meet them, Envoy, and see for yourself.
I'll do what I can, Captain.
Good. I'm appointing you acting ambassador in Carrick's place. You have full authority to negotiate
I have big shoes to fill.
We're counting on you, Envoy. I mean, Ambassador. I'd like you to take a look at Ambassador Carrick's last report. Lieutenant Dax will make it available to you.
I'll route it to a monitor for you.
Finally, of course, there is the matter of the drones.
Any new developments in that situation?
Yes. The drones are beginning to come through the wormhole again, Bannock.
How more?
New design. Lieutenant Dax can give you the details. That's all.
Yeah, I always mess up at this part.
Let me review my assignment, Captain.
Yes, Ambassador. Go ahead.
I'm in charge of getting whatever information we can out of the Scythians.
That is your most urgent task, Bannock. The Scythian ship is out on the docking ring.
Was there anything else, Captain?
Yes, Bannock. Constable Odo wants you to assist Dax. She's trying to unscramble Carrick's computer files.
I'll see her, Captain. Thanks. Yes, Captain Sisko mentioned something about the drones.
Yes, they're beginning to reappear. A new type of vessel, but the same pattern. One appears through the wormhole every 3 minutes or so.
These drones are configured differently?
Yes, more powerful, more phaser resistant, I think. The data is sketchy so far.
The same pattern, you say? So...
They'll continue to build up their strike force, unit by unit, until a trigger vessel arrives. Then they'll attack all at once. If they're following the same programming sequence as the last ones did. Which seems to be the case so far.
Can you put one of those on the viewer, Lieutenant?
Let's see if we have a visual yet. I doubt it. They're keeping well out of range. Dax to Carlton. Dax to Ensign Carlton. Carlton, respond. That's odd. Dax to...
Carlton here, Lieutenant.
Ensign. Have you finished modifying the sensor phase variants?
Yeah, with wideband modulation. No luck at double scan.
Don't waste time with that. Go to factor 10 and...
But the scan rate...
We can compensate with a focus sweep matrix.
Key to a metaline structure.
Right. Use latinum. It's distinctive, and certainly rare enough around here. Except at Quarks.
I'll try it, Lieutenant. Carlton out.
Well, that answers that.
How many drones are circling the station now?
5.
When will they attack, do you think?
The big question. I can't say for sure, of course, but with a few educated guesses based on the latest data, matrixed with a calculated hunch, I'd say you have about an hour to coax some helpful facts out of our Scythian friends.
And if I do?
You might find a way to stop this useless war, Bannock.
And if I don't?
We'll need every able person to help defend the station in about an hour.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Yeah, no pressure. Sisko's not gonna talk to me.
Computer. Promenade, level 8, section 5.
Yeah, let's go to Upper Promenade, see if Vec, Rasmus, or whoever is still there. Or came back.
Baloshima karma bunarek pursha kahipanut dide nakava nipano dabana elda sharet.
Rasmus?
Balo bolekpa Hozroshima kama shinarek hozrokashim haban rishe kama bilmana sharet sharet sharet.
I'm sorry?
Voices.
Are you all right?
They are here with us now.
Who's here? Who are you talking about?
All around us as if they had never left.
I don't understand.
Never shriven, never prayed over.
Rasmus, it's Bannock. Can I help you?
Bannock. Yes, I remember. It is the rising Bannock. The spirits of Terek Nor surround us. I must pray for them, all of them, before the dark cloud passes.
Who needs your prayers?
The Borjas, the dead who cannot find peace, they must be sanctified before the cloud disperses.
Do you mean the plasma storm?
The storm is only part of the prophecy. It is the cloud about the temple gates that heralds the coming of the Harbinger.
What exactly is the Harbinger?
A warning. The prophets tell of the Harbinger coming to cleanse the heavens. The signs are clear. The Borjas are rising. A dark cloud lies at the temple gates.
The temple gates? You mean the mouth of the wormhole?
Yes.
This rising, it's happening now?
Yes, the veil between the dead and the living is tearing. The unconsecrated spirits call to us as they walk unseen through the same corridors they did in life.
Just exactly how will this Harbinger cleanse the heavens?
Each of us must find our own interpretation of the prophecies, Bannock. The prophets can only show us the path to truth. We must walk there ourselves.
What makes you think this is going on?
I've heard them. Spirit voices arguing in empty corridors. Footsteps from the past. Doors opening and closing just as the prophecy foretold.
Why would a space station be haunted?
There were thousands of us here. Slaves under the Cardassians. Beaten, starved. When one of us fell under the strain, a Cardassian overseer kicked the body aside and called for a replacement. There was no time for prayer.
The Cardassians never let you pray over your dead?
It was forbidden. We are a religious people, Bannock. When we depart this life, our spirits seek solace. The solace that only the Bajoran death chant can provide. I believe it is that ritual that guides our souls to the next phase. The Borjas of Terek Nor were denied these chants, and now, at the rising, they are doomed to walk the paths of the living.
But what if those incidents aren't supernatural? Exactly what did you see?
The Borjas have their secrets. I will keep theirs as they have kept mine.
But...
Forgive me, my prayers must continue. Balo nakaru talbunarek, pulsha kahibanut, dide gima wimpaja, aralanon sharet. Balo nakaru talbunarek, pulsha kahibanut, dide gima wimpaja, aralanon sharet.
Alright. I'm not gonna get much out of her, so... Giant Theron's still there. For reasons.
You have no proof of these accusations. I demand to speak to Captain Sisko.
Oh, you will, Quark. And you can explain to him why we have a dead Federation diplomat on our hands.
What's going on here, Mr. Odo?
I'm being unjustly detained because of his prejudice against my people.
I'm not prejudiced against your
gosh.
people, Quark. I'm prejudiced against you.
Oh, boy.
It's Ambassador now, Quark. A field promotion.
Ambassador. I had nothing to do with any killings. I've never met Ambassador Carrig.
Carrig was your only link to the Scythians before I got here. Did you try to bribe him, too?
Bribe? What are you talking about? I told you I never met him. This is all some kind of tragic misunderstanding.
Then why were you so nervous when I met you earlier? Every time I mentioned Ambassador Carrig, you jumped.
Of course I'm nervous. Do you have any idea the amount of profit that this plasma storm is costing me? The promenade is deserted, I've got a back room full of rotting low-carb beans, and some obscure Bajoran labor law has me paying my Davo girl whether anyone spins a wheel or not. Not to mention the fact that this bucket of bolts we're in could collapse at any second under the disturbance. Oh boy, you bet I'm nervous.
So you've met. How nice. What else did you notice, Ambassador?
He was talking to someone over the view screen when I came in. Someone who seemed very upset.
That? Oh, that was just a customer of mine. A disgruntled one.
How could you tell?
You told him the deal was off. He had some sort of finned crest on his head.
Sounds like one of the Lycosians. Quark, you haven't been associating with the Lycosians from the Altair group, have you?
Oh, no.
Really?
What's the Altair group?
A bunch of petty mercenaries disbanded by the authorities on Altair 7. 2 Lycosians from the group were trapped on the station when the last transport failed. Well, well, well. What bad company you've been keeping, Quark.
Look, I'm a free citizen of the Ferengi Alliance. I've had enough of your accusations. If you have any evidence against me, which you don't, arrest me. Otherwise, let me get back to my bar.
You're right. I don't have any evidence. Yet. If I did, you and your Lycosian cronies would already be behind security fields. But I will soon enough. The computer's analyzing the trace scans I took of the Ambassador's quarters.
Scans?
It should be finished shortly. Once the results are compiled, we'll be able to pinpoint exactly who entered Carrig's room from their DNA pattern. Go back to your bar, and tell your Lycosian associates that it's only a matter of time before the computer finishes analyzing the genetic samples I took from Carrig's room. If there's even a molecule of Lycosian DNA, I'll have the proof I need to put them away, and hang a charge of accessory to murder around your greedy neck.
Well, I'm sure this will all be settled. I'll be on my way then.
You do that. Ambassador, have a look at this for a moment, won't you? Well, I think he got the point. If I know Quark, he's on his way to warn the Lycosians about the molecular scan.
I'd like to see what evidence you've been able to collect.
All I've got for certain right now is what the initial tricorder readings tell me. The murder weapon, the traces of Tarragon radiation, and the corrosive used on the Ambassador's pad. You've spoken to Lieutenant Dax about retrieving the data?
About Carrig's pad.
A standard Federation personal access display device. Or it was until someone flash-scorched it with metamchlorinide. So you haven't seen its contents?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. It may contain notes that'll help me open communications with the Scythians.
Possibly clues to Carrig's murder as well. I'd be very interested in finding out what the killer thought was so important to destroy. I've been told you've got some training in security procedures. Interesting background considering your origins. Tyria has an unusually low crime rate for a planet its size.
It wasn't violence on my home planet that got me interested in security training. Like you, Mr. Odo, I believe in being prepared.
Where would you like to begin?
Hmm. Yeah, guys, I'm starting to get a little tired.
What'll the tricorder scans tell us?
The molecular scans record residual skin and exoskeleton cells. The computer should be able to tell us the species, even the identity, of every being that entered the ambassador's quarters in the last 48 hours.
Were you able to determine if anything had been stolen from the ambassador's quarters?
Not positively, but security records show that when Carrick boarded, he invoked diplomatic privilege.
What for exactly?
According to the officer's log, the ambassador was very insistent that we not scan a particular piece of his luggage. I have visual reference on the container, a small silver case, but it wasn't among the contents of his quarters.
Interesting.
Could it have been a Starfleet matter? Something he needed to hand-deliver to Captain Sisko?
If he intended to, he changed his mind, or was killed before he had the chance. Whatever was in that case, it was clearly important to him. The duty officer's log mentions that he was extremely protective of it. He insisted on carrying that case to his quarters personally. Do you have any idea what it might have contained?
He did mention something in a message to Captain Sisko about valuable items in his possession.
What kind of valuable items?
He didn't say. It was very vague, actually. As if he didn't want to talk about it on an open frequency.
If we can find out what was stolen from his room, we may be able to find out more about who killed him and why.
When will the computer be finished analyzing the scans of the ambassador's quarters?
Not for an hour, at least. We're on emergency power, so the computer's slower than usual. Of course, it's in emergency situations that we really need the computer's speed.
Who are your suspects? You don't really think that Quark killed Carrick?
No. But I'd wager more than a spin of his Dabo wheel that he's involved somehow.
The Lycotians.
Of the beings remaining aboard the station, they're the likeliest suspects. They've certainly got the histories. Petty theft, fraud, extortion, but no record of murder. Yet.
What about the crew of the station? We can't rule them out as suspects.
If the killer is still aboard this station, and until I can prove otherwise, I have to assume he is. It could be any one of us, except you. The initial scans show that the body had been decomposing for at least an hour before you docked.
What about the last transport, the one that didn't make it off the station in time?
That's where I think we'll find our answers. Let's take a look at the passenger list. There were only 5 passengers aboard, mostly people who put off leaving till the last opportunity. Lieutenant Mret was the pilot. He's monitoring shield grids. Hasn't been out of the lower core since the transport docked.
Shish.
Here are the passenger records. Johnny Tharon.
She's the Dabo girl, right?
She is now, although I don't think she came here with that career in mind.
Probably
I
not.
had to pull her in once on assault, but she was out the next morning. The victim didn't want to press charges.
What happened?
Apparently she had a misunderstanding with the captain of a Ferengi research vessel. Friend of Quark's, I think. Something about her he nearly had one of his lobes off by the time I arrived.
Oh, whoa.
Who's next?
Rasmus Selin.
Alright.
What's her security record?
She doesn't have any kind of security record, except for official release documents from the Cardassian labor camps.
Yes. She told me she was imprisoned on the station during the Cardassian occupation.
I remember.
You recognize her? How?
I have an excellent memory, Ambassador. It helps in my profession. but the faces from that particular era would be difficult for anyone to forget. She had a brother, younger, I believe. He was killed during a maintenance survey.
You were on the station during the occupation?
It amused the Cardassians to have a shapeshifter in their service. I was enlisted as an investigator of sorts.
What do you know about her?
She had a brother, younger, I believe. He was killed during a maintenance survey.
An accident?
Accident? No. Manufacturing decision. Corrosion on the main smelting unit would set production back 6%. To keep it at maximum efficiency, the Cardassians would send a Bajoran in to remove the molten slag residue. If the slave was burned alive in the process, a small loss.
I see.
I was there when they dragged his body out. What was left of it. The sister was... It was a frequent occurrence in those days. Next on the list, Quark.
Right. What's his background, anyway?
Fraud, embezzlement, trafficking, conspiracy, bribery, racketeering, extortion. How far back did you want to go?
No acts of violence? No murder?
No. There
Just
was
based
that
off.
incident with the drunken Klingon, but I wouldn't call it murder.
What kind of criminal record do you have on him?
His file's so large I had to expand the record capacity. Disappointingly few convictions, though. He's as slippery as a Clabnian eel.
Why do you think he booked passage on the very last transport out?
He's a Ferengi ambassador. That bar of his is his primary legal source of profit. He'd keep it open as long as there was one potential customer and a single strip of latinum left on the station. Besides, it probably took him hours to secure all his precious possessions.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one.
Kimry Renat, a Lycosian. He was a weapons expert for a second-rate criminal consortium on Altair. I've been keeping an eye on him and his partner Priyet Ning since they came on board.
Oh, those two at the dying area.
That's the one I saw talking to Quark on the view screen in the bar.
That makes sense. Renat spent a small fortune in the bar, but Quark's never so much as made eye contact with him. That usually means he's disguising a covert business arrangement.
I haven't come in contact with this species before.
Lycosians divide themselves up into clans based on minor interspecies differences. Physical size, local dialect. A distinction as insignificant as skin color will set them at each other's throats.
Must be an immature culture.
These two are from southern Lycos. That blue coloring is a regional characteristic. The other clan was northern, similar but larger and with red skin. I broke up a confrontation between the two outside Quarks. After that, they studiously avoided one another. The Northerners booked passage on an earlier evacuation shuttle. That's all of them. Until we get the scans back, we can't rule any of them out. Just how well did you know the ambassador, Mr. Bannock?
Well enough. He was a superb diplomat, Mr. Odo, but a difficult man to work with.
Difficult?
Let's just say he was very confident in his opinions, especially when others weren't.
Huh.
Where could the Terragan radiation have come from?
It could be an effect of the plasma disturbance. Lieutenant Dax has been picking up stray traces of it since the storm set in.
Could this have something to do with the Harbinger?
The Harbinger?
It's a figure from the Bajoran spiritual texts. The Vedic Rasmus mentioned it earlier. She thinks the plasma storm is a sign that this Harbinger is coming.
I'm more interested in evidence than local legends, Ambassador. What do you know about the Ambassador's mission in the Gamma Quadrant?
He and I were part of the same delegation. The Federation was hoping we'd be able to make contact with aliens in the Gamma Quadrant that aren't tied to the Dominion.
Be careful what you wish for. It might come true.
What?
It's an old Earth saying our chief of engineering taught me.
Oh,
Go
Brian.
on. What else can you tell me?
Captain Sisko gave me access to his report from the Gamma Quadrant.
Did it contain anything that might help us?
He said he had difficulty communicating with the Scythians.
Huh, he's not the only one. Anything else?
It was in that message that he mentioned those valuable items I told you about.
That's right. But he didn't say what those items were?
No, he was being intentionally vague. He mentioned that the Scythians had a space station loaded with latinum.
No wonder.
I wonder if Quark wants to make a deal.
Quark's been hovering around them like a Regulan puss fly. Did he say anything else?
That's all I remember, really. Captain Sisko can let you look at the message. You have my permission as acting ambassador.
Well, thank you, Ambassador.
What about the way he was killed? That's got to tell us something about the murderer.
Yes, the murder weapon. Molecular inhibitors aren't your average sidearm. The only one I've ever seen belonged to a dead Caraxian who had an accident in our local tailor's shop.
No.
Have there been any Caraxians on the station recently?
Not since the incident in Garrick's shop. They seem to be avoiding the station, or perhaps our tailor, ever since. But an inhibitor could be just as deadly in anyone's hands.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Molecular inhibitors are used on Bajor as an ore processing device. They were one of the Cardassians' more effective tools.
Can't you just run a station scan to find the weapon?
Not effectively. Until it's discharged, it doesn't give off any distinct signature. Unfortunately, it only discharges on contact with a victim's body.
It's only dangerous if it touches you?
But don't underestimate the threat. A Klingon Diktag can be just as deadly as a phaser in the right hands. That's all for now. I'll keep you apprised if the situation changes.
Thank you, Constable.
And Bannock, keep your eyes open. I don't want 2 dead diplomats on my hands.
Okay. Guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm kind of falling asleep here. Alright.